Hey, what's going on, guys? Welcome back to the channel. My name is Dexbot and I hope you guys are doing absolutely wonderful today. In this video, we're covering the best settings that you guys can be using in Call of Duty Vanguard whenever you're playing multiplayer. And I want to share with you what I'm using, why I'm using it, and get you guys set up to be the best player that you guys can be, to have everything squared away so you can get the best quality and all that good stuff. If at any point you learn something new with this, helps you out in any way, shape, or form, I do ask that you guys just click a thumbs up, leave a like on the video, make sure you're subscribed if you want to make your way back to my channel for more Call of Duty content in the future. Would love to have you guys become part of this community. But without saying too much more, let's jump into the best settings that you guys can use in Call of Duty Vanguard. All right, guys, we're jumping into the best settings that you can use in Call of Duty Vanguard. I want to get you guys up to speed as players so you can have the best chance to be the best player that you can be, as well as having the best quality while playing the game. That makes for a better experience for everyone. So if you guys are on PS5, the most important thing that you need to do, especially if at any point in the game you transition from a PS4 version of the game to a PS5, you want to come down to the PlayStation dashboard, and right next to the icon it says PS5 Call of Duty Vanguard beta right now, right? Because that's what we're in. This will probably transition even into the full game once it's launched, because you want to make sure you're playing a PS5 version of the game, right? So like, look, whenever I scroll over to Call of Duty Black Ops Cold War, it still says PS5. But if I scroll over to Modern Warfare, aka Warzone, it says PS4. So if you are someone that maybe bought Vanguard on a PS4 and you bought it digitally, but you got a PS5 and you go to play the game, you're going to need a PS5 version of the game to be able to play and get the best settings that you can on your PS5 console. That's going to be very, very important. I'll cover that again in my full settings video once it's going to launch, once the game releases, just in case anything happens to change later on. Definitely want to make sure you're playing the PS5 version of the game, or if you're on Xbox, playing the most recent version of the game. So now we're going to jump into some of the controller settings, graphics, audio interface, all that good stuff. I'm going to run through everything, so sit tight. We're going through it all. So first off, my horizontal and 6 sensitivity. I'm using 7 for the horizontal, 6 for the vertical. I know that might be a little bit lower than what some of you players might use these days. I know a lot of these young bucks be using like 20/20 and crazy stuff like that, but I can't whip around like that. I'm too old. I'm old fashioned. I have to dial it back just a little bit because I want to maintain my sensitivity. I want to have the most accurate shot possible whenever I go to aim down sight and try to take out an enemy, right? And one way I can still do this is because in Call of Duty Vanguard, we have so many settings with your aim down sight sensitivity, right? So if you come here to your aim down sight sensitivity multiplier and you press square on it, you can change the aim down sight sensitivity at all of these various zooms, right? Low zoom, 2x, 3x, 4x, all the way 8x, high zoom, all the way up. And I believe I actually was playing at like a 1.2 for my aim down sight sensitivity for low zoom. So that would be like your normal like reticles and stuff like that, red dots and everything, you know, the low zoom, just a little something on there. I did crank that up just a little bit. I haven't used a lot of these other scopes yet, I'll be honest. We might see some of that as Vanguard transitions into Warzone, what some of these crazier 8x zooms is. I can't see myself using an 8x zoom scope on like some of these smaller maps in Vanguard, you know. So that'll be something we'll dive into a little later as well. For my button preset layout, I play default. I do not flip my L1, R1, L2, R2. I believe some of the people that might play flipped might be some of like the OG PlayStation users. If any of you guys play flipped, let me know down in the comments. I'm glad this setting is here for you guys that do happen to play flip, because I know there are some out there, but I don't feel like there's like a lot, you know? And the same with inverted. You can invert your vertical look. I have it set to off. I don't like to play inverted. I'm always intrigued. If you guys play with your inverted vertical look, let me know. I believe sometimes I'll get comments and people say, yeah, I play inverted because they used to play like flight simulators, like maybe like with a joystick or something, like moving it around in different ways. So I can completely understand that if it's something you started with, you know. For the aim response curve type, I'm playing on standard. You have various options here. You can play linear and dynamic. I believe in Warzone, I started using dynamic, which it says it's the reverse S curve mapping for a fire aim rate control. I don't know what that means verbally, but I felt like dynamic felt really comfortable in Warzone, but I put it on in Vanguard and it felt a little funky. So I just came back to standard for now. It's something I could dive into and adjust later on as well. My controller vibration, I play on right now. I always start out playing Call of Duty games with my vibration on until I get used to the time to kill, until I get used to having that that visual and physical feedback, right? Like I get used to feeling what the time to kill feels like, and then I kind of get used to, okay, that's what I'm used to. Then eventually I will turn off controller vibration because I don't need it anymore. I'm used to how long it takes to eliminate somebody, and if my controller's not vibrating, that's one less thing I have to factor for. My joysticks, holding the controller, you know, anything that would take away from me having an accurate shot, right? One less thing going on in my hands per se. So I start with it on. The game's new. We're just diving into it. I'll eventually turn that off later on. Target aim assist, I have it set to on. You have additional settings here that you can change your target aim assist mode from default, precision, focusing, and legacy. I'm going with the default for now. I'm definitely going to play around with that some later on. For the Airborne Mantle, I have it set to manual. It says you will only mantle when pressing or holding mantle keybind at the appropriate moment. I don't want to automatically mantling whenever I'm close to something and jumping and everything. You know, if I'm in the air, I want to have smart mantles, basically. The automatic tactical sprint, I have it set to enabled. I have it set whenever I move forward standing to automatically activate tactical sprint, because tactical sprint is something that's going to be very essential in this game. It's going to help you get around the map and position yourself a little bit quicker. So you want to make sure you're using it. Sprint canceling reload, I have that set to off. The reason why is if I empty a clip and I need to reload, right? Let's say I just shot at 1 or 2 people. If I emptied a whole clip, right? And I need to get away, get to a safer spot to try to reload, I want to try to turn away and sprint, and I might start my reload animation, right? If you have that set to sprint canceling your reload, whenever you go to sprint, it's gonna stop your reload, and you're just gonna run away, and then you're gonna get to wherever you need, and then you don't have any ammo. You haven't reloaded yet, you know? So I like to use it off so I can be moving and still try to position myself after emptying a clip. For my weapon mount activation, I have it set to aim down sight and melee. My weapon movement exit, I have it set to on. Depleted ammo switch set to on. So basically, say you're firing your SMG or your assault rifle and you run out of ammo, it's going to automatically switch to your secondary. I think that's just something that makes you a little bit faster, a little more efficient, especially if you're in a hairy situation where you're trying to get out of it. Maybe you're fighting 1 or 2, 3 enemies or something like that, and you're just trying to keep going. You're trying to be Rambo. I think that's a solid feature to have on. For my slide behavior, I have it set to on. Aim down sight behavior, hold. Equipment behavior and steady aim behavior are both set to hold. For my interact and reload behavior, I have it set to tap to reload. We have a lot of settings here, a little more than normal. I'm still going tap to reload. You also have tap to interact, prioritize reload, prioritize interact. A lot of that will just come down to your personal preference. For the automatic fire behavior, I have it set to hold. And then so for some of the advanced controls, you have aim down sight multiplier for steady aim. I have it set to 1.0. Stick layout preset is default. Aim down sight stick swap is set off. L2 dead zone is 13 and 13 for L2 R2. For left stick min input is 10 and max input is 99 on both of them. Auto move forward, I have it set to off. Door dash interaction is automatic, and my quick satchel saturation is set to off. Now let's jump into some of the more fun stuff. The graphics, right? Right now, because I'm playing on a PS5 version of the game and I have my monitor and everything set up, I'm able to play with 120 hertz refresh rate, which that's going to give me, you know, just better quality. I'm able to use the hardware from the PS5, the hardware that I've purchased, and can put out a little bit better content, you know, and I can also play the game at a higher refresh rate. And I think that's great for having the best quality possible. So that's one of the reasons why you want to play the best version of the game that you have. Your brightness and color customization, a lot of that's going to come down to your monitor, your TV that you're using. The camera movement. This is something I believe it starts out on 100%. Yeah, for the default. You want to turn that all the way down. Like if there's action going on in the map and grenades are blasting off, or there's a mortar strike coming in, I want to have the least camera movement possible. Me personally, I'm not playing to play in a realistic environment. I play arcade shooters to just have fun, run and gun type of thing, right? So if you have less camera movement, it's less it's going to be going on your screen, and you can still have an accurate shot. You can see what's going on and all that good stuff. All right, so the next thing here, we have world motion blur and weapon motion blur. So guys, what I'm going to do, I'm going to just cut off my camera real quick so we can go through this just a little bit more efficiently. World motion blur. On the left image is with it off. On the right image is with it on. And this is going to apply for world and weapon motion blur, right? It's going to be the same thing pretty much. On the left is with it off, on the right is with it on. Whenever you guys are looking left to right across your screen, up and down, if you have it off, the game is going to load everything, right? Like you can see that building in the distance, you can see the archways, you can see the bridge a little further out. Obviously, if there was an enemy up top, it would be a little harder to see. But if you have it set to on, the right image is what you're going to see as you're turning around, whipping around, looking back and forth. The chances of you seeing an enemy with world motion blur off during that movement versus it being on are so much higher, right? Like you don't want to have any kind of blurring on your screen to hinder you from being able to take in anything, you know, where your enemies at, where your teammates are, what's going on, where there's gunfire, where a grenade just blew up, where, you know, like you want to be able to take in everything that you needed. So that's going to be very, very important for you guys to use. Turn that off now. Major key. Depth of field, I have it set to on. It says it simulates camera lens. Out of focus region appears blurry. You can kind of go either way with it. I don't feel like it makes a huge difference right now. The biggest thing is going to be the weapon motion blur. And then my on-demand texture streaming is set to on. As for my audio, this is obviously going to be very situational because some of you guys might play on computers with speakers. Some of you might play on consoles with headphones. Some of you might play on consoles with TVs. So a lot of this is going to be very, very situational. For me, I'm playing my master volume set to 100. I have music volume off because sometimes whenever I stream over on Twitch, I do play music in the background. If you guys haven't watched my Twitch stream, would love to have you guys come through. There's the link to it down in the description of this video. It's just DexBot with a 0. I play live with viewers. I love running games with people. So if you want to become part of our community, we're growing, definitely come by the Twitch stream sometime, and you can join my Discord server. My Discord server is invitation link is down in the description of the video as well. My dialogue volume, I have it set to 90. Sound effects 100. Hit marker sounds, I have it set to classic. My audio mix is set to headphones. Killstreak music on, mono audio off, voice chat on. I have my voice chat settings based on what works for me for my audio. That's going to be very situational, but I have it set to 3 for the activation threshold. Voice chat volume set to 5 and microphone volume set to 5. As for the interface, I'm using English for my language selection. My subtitles, I have it set to off. Subtitle size default. A lot of this here is all just basically set to default, you know, text, chat, and your subtitles and everything. So a lot of this is just going to be personal preference. Like this doesn't change your gameplay for the most part. So yeah, get that set up and what you need. I don't have any keyboard and mouse settings because I don't play on keyboard and mouse. I do play on a controller. I use the PS5 controller. So that's going to pretty much cover what you guys need to be using for a PlayStation 5 and, you know, just for consoles in general. For Call of Duty Vanguard. So if this helps you out in any way, shape, or form, like I said, click the thumbs up button, leave a like. Make sure you guys are subscribed. We'll jump back into some more Call of Duty content here on the channel. We'd love to have you guys become part of the community. We'll see you soon in another live stream or video. We'll catch you next time. Peace.